Good. You guys went all out on this tripod. It's really nice.
That is a cute tripod, so you're welcome.
We ready? Here we go.
Hey, this is Dr. Buzz with Buckeye Physical Medicine Rehab. BuckeyePMR.com is a website. And today we're going to be talking about weight loss. I actually brought a patient with me today. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, not much. Glad to be here.
So we're going to talk a little bit about her weight loss journey and how she did. She did amazing. And but I want to get a first person view for you. Someone's actually done the program. They can tell you how it was. And she's a really busy lady. She's got a lot going on in her life, so it just kind of proves that anyone can diet because you work crazy hours.
Crazy hours.
As we just talked about.
Yeah.
So we are going to cut the break, and we'll be right back.
Okay, so far so good.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, cut the water.
Okay, because you're going to take a nap. We're going to bed. Yeah, I don't want you for coffee.
Okay, ready?
And what's your...
Whatever keeps you up, that's all.
Well, some people don't have.
Ready?
Yeah, right.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, this is Dr. Buzz. I'm back with Buckeye Physical Medicine Rehab. BuckeyePMR.com is a website. And today we're going to be talking about our accelerated medical weight loss program. And I'm here today with Jen. What's going on?
Hey, not much.
And she just got through doing the accelerated medical weight loss program. And I want her to talk a little bit about it. But we're going to start off by talking about you a little bit.
Okay.
So we do this. We actually record this radio show, and we're here. And you looked a little sleepy, and I guess you just put in a long night, right?
I did, yeah.
So tell us a little about what you do. So you're a manager.
I am a department manager at the Home Depot in Grove City.
Which I was just there this morning. I told you.
Awesome,
I didn't see you.
awesome.
I didn't see you, but I was there too.
Yeah, good.
And how long you been there, and kind of what do you do? What's your schedule like?
I've been there. It'll be 2 years next month, and my schedule's all over the place because I'm in management. I could be opening the store, I could be closing the store. Right now, I'm on the inventory prep team, and so my
what did you work
hours
last night? You worked what last night? You worked crazy hours.
8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Yeah.
That's why you're tired.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, thank you for staying up for me.
Hey, no problem.
I'm eating
I took
into
a
your
nap.
nap time. Okay.
I took a nap. Yeah.
But anyways, you had done the when did you complete the accelerated medical weight loss program?
It was about mid-December.
Okay, cool. And then how'd that go for you?
It was fabulous. Yeah.
And maybe tell us a little bit about yourself. So, had you been battling your weight for a little while, or kind of?
You just wake up one day and you realize you're really fat, and so you're just really overweight. I did, for me anyway.
So,
and,
just one day you woke up and you're like, "Hey, this isn't cool."
Yeah, I did. I was tired of my feet aching. I'm on my feet 8 hours a day. I walk about 26 miles a week just at work and carrying stuff and up and down ladders, and my feet were hurting, and it just I had enough. I had enough, and it was time to do something.
That's weird how that happened just one day. You just like,
I'm just watching TV, and I'm like, I'm tired of being lazy or feeling like I'm lazy, and.
Well, you're exercising a lot at work, like you're moving, so it's not like you're sedentary, but you put on the weight.
Yeah.
And then, had you tried anything else? I mean, so you had never really dieted your whole life, or is this something you kind of?
No, I hadn't really ever dieted, and I had looked into some programs and things, and but it just it was a little bit daunting to me. If it takes a long time, I needed something that I felt like I would see immediate results, and I looked into your program and felt like it was a good fit.
How'd you find us, by the way?
Oh, this is so well. Okay, my partner had been to your facility for physical rehab.
Okay.
And I had talked to a few other people that had been there, and they really spoke highly of it.
Awesome.
And so I was watching TV late one night and dinking around on my phone, and a Facebook ad popped up, said, "Oh, come in for a free consultation." And I'm like, "Well, what do I have to lose?"
Yeah, right.
Obviously, a lot of weight, but so I called
cool.
the next. I think I filled out the thing, and your office called the next day, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll come in and
So
see
the
what it's
Facebook
about.
ad does work then. Okay,
It
cool.
did work. At least you got one patient out of it.
That's
so.
cool. So, and a lot of people don't realize that, obviously, if you're not sure about dieting, you're not sure if this program's for you, you can come in. It doesn't cost you anything to come in.
Exactly.
And you can sit down and we'll lay it out for you. And if it works for you, great. If not, that's fine. But you have nothing to lose to come in and at least check it out.
Exactly.
So you came in, and how was you? So basically, you came in. Who did you meet with?
I met with Travis.
Okay, cool. And he's our coach there.
Yeah.
And he kind of laid it out for you, and you said you just took a leap of faith and said, "Let's do this."
I did. Yeah.
Awesome. And how was that? How much weight did you lose? How much time did it take you?
Altogether, I lost 32 pounds.
Wow, that's good for you.
So, 32 pounds. And
what period of time was that?
The 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I started first part of October, and ended up the program about mid-December. So
It's hard dieting in December too.
yeah, well, I had to do the through Halloween and Thanksgiving and then into Christmas but
One thing that's weird, I will tell you though, is when people decide to diet, there's no time that's really better or worse than other times because there's always an excuse. There's always a birthday party.
Yep.
There's always a holiday. There's always so. And we stayed busy through December, and a lot of people say, well, that would be counterintuitive because why would people diet in December or January? But I mean, there's always something going on.
Yeah, you're right.
A
There's
vacation, there's whatever. So I guess the hardest decision for most people is just to do it.
Right.
And it's always good to have a structured program. So tell us. So you started the diet. How was it?
It was great. Right before I started the diet, they always say, you have your last couple of days of just, eating whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had a meltdown day where it was like, oh, poor me. I mean, I can't eat ice cream. But I kicked myself in the hind end and said, we're going to do this. And,
You were committed.
I was very committed.
Yeah.
Honestly, the first day I started the program, the day that I started the program, and I knew this going into it, they had a pizza party at lunch for the management team. And I'm sitting there and everybody's eating pizza and I'm eating my salad and chicken. And they were all like, oh, it didn't bother me. Did not bother me at all because I was committed and wanted to do it. And, everybody was supportive. And so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It was awesome.
Well, and everyone knows being overweight, obviously, other than not feeling good, right? Which you had to, and you said your feet were hurting.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how we honestly got into, we started out, we're a physical medicine office, so a lot of people say, well, why are you guys doing weight loss? Well, a lot of people who are overweight have bad knees and bad backs and bad, all that stuff, and it doesn't matter what type of physical therapy, chiropractic, medical procedure you do for foot pain or back pain. If you're overweight, it just doesn't last.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we, if you're going to treat the body as a whole, and that's why we do hormones too, like you really got to address a person's weight. If they're overweight, it's a disservice if you don't address it, at least try to help them out if they want the help.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And in obesity, not only does it cause aches and pains and all this other stuff, but it leads to heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, all these things that are very preventable.
Right.
So, and two of the reasons I think the diet really works well is, number one, when you take part of a structured program like this thing here, there's accountability and there's commitment.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like if you go and you're buying like shakes at the grocery store, like there's no accountability to that.
Exactly.
So, and I think our staff is very committed. I think
Absolutely.
And Travis has lost over 100 pounds and kept it off, so he knows what it's like.
Oh, he lives it and breathes it. I mean, he's very enthusiastic about it, and it transfers.
That's awesome.
If you're there and you're halfway interested, talk to Travis, and you will definitely be interested.
Because he's been there and done it, and the success too is keeping the weight off.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, and the other thing with the program is, you're done with the program, but you're never done. We're always there to support you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we teach you how to eat properly. So, hopefully you're still watching the scale and you're still eating properly and stay on top of it. Because what we don't want is we don't want you to come back every year and do the diet. That makes no sense.
Exactly.
So we jumpstart your diet. We give you a way to lose weight fast.
Right.
But after that, hopefully you've learned healthy eating habits from us, and you can now you have control of your life.
Exactly.
And control of your health. So now you take the ball and run with it.
Right.
But we're there to support you if you need it. But I don't want you coming back here every year doing the diet.
No. I don't want to do that either.
So, and just so people know kind of what was going on. So, explain what happened. So you start the diet. Maybe explain a little bit. Like, did you come to the office and weigh in, or what did they have you doing structure wise, or did you just do this on your own?
No. I came in, weighed in. We did the blood work and everything, and there were the medications and everything that I took. I came in once a week, met with my coach, had to weigh in.
Did you lose weight pretty much every week, or
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. With the purpose of the weigh-in is for you guys, because if for some reason we know on this diet that there's a certain amount of weight you should lose every week, and if you don't, a lot of times people honestly are making mistakes they don't realize.
Yeah, you're probably not even realizing that you're making mistakes.
Yeah, but everyone loses weight on the diet. So if you come in 1 week and you haven't lost what we think is appropriate, then we'll sit down and just say, let's talk about what you did this week, because there's an error somewhere.
Right.
And I think that accountability makes, number one, you're less likely to cheat because you don't want to come in there and be.
No, it's embarrassing. It would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
For
And it's
me,
not,
it
and
would
it's
be
not done in a
embarrassing.
group setting. I mean, it's an
Right.
individual, so you wouldn't be, but just embarrassing for yourself,
Right.
obviously. But number two, is, just make sure that accountability, that you're actually losing the weight you're supposed to, because as I said, we pride ourselves. We don't want people redoing this diet, and we have a goal for everyone, and that goal is everyone should lose at least 30 pounds.
Right.
So in a short period of time, and if they're not doing that, we'll make sure they get there.
Right.
So we're going to cut the break, and then we'll be right back, and we'll talk a little bit more about the diet here. This is Dr. Buzz with Buckeye Physical Medicine Rehab. Our website is buckeyepmr.com. Wait, the cut break here. 10 minutes. we're like halfway. What I would like to talk a little bit about is, do you want to talk about like the foods you ate, and I guess the thing that's hard for people to understand is and were you your hunger level, was it okay? Your energy level?
Oh,
How
energy
were you?
level was through the roof. Now, when it got off of that initial,
I mean, they can close their mouth.
about the time when you double your calories, I think one of the medications went away or something. Anyway, the injections that I
The
gave myself.
HCG
Yeah.
after 42 days was over.
Yeah. After that, my energy level kind of dropped. I missed the energy level. I really missed that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And did you do phentermine or did you do Garcinia?
Phentermine.
You did phentermine, okay.
Yeah. And one of the things I did for myself was I got a little journal, and I bought a nice scale. The one that has like your BMI and all this stuff on it. Whether it's accurate or not, I don't care. It gave me numbers.
It's cool to watch every day, though.
Yeah, it is. And I kept this little diary, and every day I would write just one little sentence about how I was
cool.
feeling and things. So, yeah.
That's
So
fun.
I've got the whole journal there that's
that's
written
awesome.
down in. So I would encourage them, when we get back on the air, if I get a chance to work that in, I'd encourage people to do that, because it's an awesome
Plus, you
journey.
can probably look back and see your journey.
Exactly.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And I also look back and say, I put on a pound or two. Okay, yeah, I got it back, down. So.
Did you ever have to do like an apple or steak day? Did you ever get stuck?
No, I didn't get stuck on the diet. I might do an apple or steak day
Then it wouldn't have been funny.
coming up over the weekend.
And you're watching still. You're still watching.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Just don't. Just stay on the,
Yeah.
You have the tools now. There's no reason.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But
All
I'm
right,
sorry,
we're
on
ready.
your show.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, this is Dr. Buzz. I'm back here. We're talking with Jen, and we're talking about her weight loss journey. When we cut the break, we were talking a little bit, and one of the funnest things she said, you actually kept a journal.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every day.
And then, and you said you bought a BMI scale or something, and what you would like kind of weigh yourself every day, and then like take a little comment down. How was that? Like,
Yeah, it was awesome. I bought a little journal, and I also bought a nice bathroom scale that it gave me like I think 6 different metrics other than the weight itself. So I wrote all those down, and I have a diary to go back at and look. So I'd write my weight down, all that information, and then I would just give myself one little sentence about how I felt. About the day, like, oh yeah, I made it to another 5 pounds, or
That's cool.
or hey, this is 15 pounds off, and it's only 2 weeks or whatever it was, and that just really helped. It's also nice to go back and look at that.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
And showing
yeah.
your weight loss journey.
Yeah,
And I think one of the other reasons our weight loss program works so good is you lose weight really fast.
exactly.
So, a typical diet, a person's going to lose about 2 pounds a week, but 2 pounds a week you don't even notice.
Right.
And more important, no one else notices.
Right.
I mean, what were your coworkers saying?
They were amazed, and I went into it. I kind of thought,
Did you tell anyone you were dieting, or did you just...
I did. I wasn't going to at first, and then I thought, we're a pretty close team, and you see somebody losing weight that rapidly. I wanted to get ahead of the gossip rumor, or the gossip ball, so to speak, and so I just nipped it in the bud.
Plus, it makes you more accountable.
It does.
You tell people you're on a diet,
it
you lose a bunch of weight,
yeah.
you're not losing weight. Okay,
right.
that's cool though. I like it.
Right, and that, so I did. Hey guys, I want you to know I'm doing this program. It's going to be tough on me, but I just don't want somebody to think I'm sick and have a lot of people questioning it and not coming to me. So.
Right. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, how much weight did you lose? Like, say, in the first 2 or 3 weeks? Like, do you remember?
I don't remember. The first day I lost like 3.5 pounds, and I was just like through the roof because like, whoa, if I can do this for like the whole 90 days, well, there wouldn't be much left.
Yeah,
of
always
it,
zero.
You know, yeah.
No, that wouldn't be good.
No, but yeah, it was exciting.
And I think part of the listeners want to know too a little bit about like so. People are always afraid of dieting. If you think of dieting, the first 3 words, if you take T off, then it's die. People associate
Right.
pain with dieting. So be honest. Was it hard?
No, it really wasn't because I was determined, and the hardest part, if you could say it was hard even, is learning to pre-plan your meals. And, we just, we always kind of pre-plan everything, so it wasn't that hard for me, but packaging my meals every day before work and things, it became the easy
And
part of it.
just so people have some idea, like what kind of stuff were you eating?
I would eat a salad, and protein. So what we did, we still do, is we bake our meals ahead of time or grill in grilling season.
Would you like at the weekend or something cook everything up? Okay.
Yeah. So I would cook a couple of pounds of steak, a couple of pounds of chicken, that kind of thing, and then I would go.
Now, did you
ahead
do this with your partner also?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Did she do the diet, or she kind of just did on the side?
She didn't do the diet. She is really into fitness, so we were kind of like the opposite extremes.
Gotcha.
And so she does CrossFit and all this stuff and things, but watches what she eats and so it was easy.
Because it's good
from
to
that-
do someone with somebody.
Yeah,
accountable.
right. So, but she really watched what she was eating in front of me too. So she didn't.
Eat a bag of chips in front of you.
Right, she really kind of participated as well. But it was really easy because you grill the chicken, cut it into your 4 ounces or your serving sizes, put it in little individual servings, and it just makes life so much easier even getting ready to go to work.
That's awesome.
Just grabbing the stuff and putting it in the cooler and going.
And then you were taking, I guess people. So basically on this diet, the reason that there's multiple components to the diet and why it works, and number one is the food you buy, you just went to the grocery store and bought. There's no prepackaged meals or
Correct.
shakes or anything like that.
Right.
And the reason we do that is any diet where you're buying shakes or stuff's prepackaged doesn't teach you how to cook and eat properly.
Exactly.
And so number one, that would end up costing a lot more money because prepackaged stuff is more expensive. And at the end of the day, if you want to keep weight off and live healthy the rest of your life, you have to learn how to eat properly.
Correct.
You have to, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to eat properly because you're not really taught that anywhere. And we're a fast-paced society. We eat out. There's pizza parties at work, right, and all that stuff.
Right.
So we, step one is we teach you how to eat properly. You go to the grocery store, you buy nutrient-dense foods that are nutritious, and that's what you eat.
Right.
And you mentioned you weren't even really that hungry. If you're eating nutrient-dense foods, you're not starved.
Right.
So it's not painful. Like this isn't. You're not going to be suffering for 3 months. Like
No, there was no suffering.
and the second component would be we use the lipotropics, and basically what lipotropics are things that help your body burn body fat instead of muscle. Because another key component is if you're dieting, in order to lose weight, you have to take in less calories. You have to burn more calories than you consume. Period. That's the only way you lose weight: calories in, calories out, no matter what diet it is. But the problem is if you're not taking lipotropics and you are burning more calories than you're eating, not only would you burn fat, but you burn muscle.
Right.
And when you burn muscle, it slows your metabolism down. And a person's metabolism is how many calories they're burning even sitting here talking on the radio show. And that's why people with more muscle can eat more food and be leaner because they have a faster metabolism. But what happens to a lot of people, and the stats prove it, the majority of people who go on diets end up putting on more weight after 2 years. Because when they diet, they do it improperly. They burn up their muscle, and then they fall off the diet because they don't know how to eat properly, and they put on more weight. And there's a lot of people out there that are overweight, and they don't eat anything.
Right.
But they've ruined their metabolism, and they don't have these lipotropics, so they just don't burn body fat. So when they go on calorie deficit, they're burning more muscle, which rests their metabolism even more. So, so these lipotropics we use is you took L-carnitine, which is an amino acid naturally occurring.
Right.
You also did the MIC injection once a week. You come to the office, we do an injection at the office, which is L-methionine, which what that does is also a fat burner. Not an energy pill, by the way, or anything, but it burns fat at the cellular level. It's an amino acid. It also does a really good job, L-methionine, of getting rid of a fatty liver. And when people are overweight, you get this thing called fatty liver. And that fatty liver makes you use insulin less appropriately. So when you eat carbohydrates, which are bread, pasta, all the stuff that tastes good, right? Bread, pasta, rice.
Oh yeah,
ice
that's
cream.
the stuff I craved.
Yeah. But when you have a fatty liver and you eat those carbohydrates, you don't convert it to energy; it converts to fat. So the more body weight you put on, the more likely you're to put on more body fat. So the L-methionine cleans that liver out. It's almost like a detox while you're doing this thing too.
Yeah.
And it gets that fat off your liver. And then the HCG, which is the human chorionic gonadotropin, and that's a little injection you do every day at home. I mean, and that doesn't hurt, does it?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
Not
it's
at
an
all.
insulin needle you use.
Yeah.
But basically, HCG is a naturally occurring hormone that males and females both produce. A lot of people have heard of it because when a female's pregnant, they produce a lot of HCG.
Right.
And the reason females produce lots of HCG when they're pregnant is the priority is to feed the baby. And the way that the fetus is fed is from the female's deep fat stores. So when you give someone who's not pregnant HCG, didn't get you pregnant, right? Okay,
No.
yeah. If you're a guy, you won't get pregnant either, don't worry. But what happens is it tricks your body into burning your deep fat stores. So most people say that not only do you lose fat, but it changes your shape.
That's one of the first things that I noticed.
Yeah.
Is that as I was losing the weight, I noticed it in my chest, in the around my collarbone and my neck. That's just where we started noticing the shape changing.
Yeah, and it's usually with HCG. The cool thing about it is if you dieted before, which you said you didn't, but if you're listening, you dieted before. When you diet, those areas that come off last are the areas that will come off first on HCG.
Oh, okay.
Which is really cool. So
Yeah.
because it goes to the deep fat stores, and everyone has that. You have people come in, they'll be really everywhere, but they'll have a big butt or they'll have a big, either an apple or a pear.
Right.
It changes the shape because they'll burn those areas first. And what a lot of people don't realize too, we talked a little bit about the cleansing effects of this. Body fat is a metabolic tissue, and that's where all your toxins are stored.
Okay.
So, so when you're losing fat, you're cleaning your system and ridding your body of a lot of toxins too. So it's really important, and you should have more energy too, because it's a metabolic tissue, it sucks your energy. So as you lose fat, a lot of people say they feel like they have more energy. How was your energy levels when you're on this?
It was through the roof. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're eating less food, but you actually have more energy.
Right.
Which is a crazy thing, right?
No, it's crazy. It's hard to wrap my mind around it, but it was working, and I was just like, I put in
So you
8
didn't find anyone
hours.
set off at work or anything? Like you weren't like the cranky coworker?
No,
Okay.
I did not get hangry.
Okay. Yeah, it's not nice to be hangry.
No.
I forgot about that term. That's a good one. So when you're doing this diet, not only are you losing weight, which is very important for your long-term health, more important than just, your foot pain and back pain, but, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, even certain cancers are caused by, excess body fat. But you're also detoxifying your system and getting this, getting all these toxins that are in your body fat out. And that's why we recommend drinking lots of water when you're on the diet, because you got to flush your system. Because if you don't drink water on the diet, because of how fast you're losing weight, you will feel not that good.
Right, and the water was very important, and it was. I would carry a jug of ice water with me to work every day, just so I make sure I get that gallon of water in a day.
That's awesome. And then the final thing we do on the diet, so we talked about, we teach you how to eat properly, and you cooked your own food, and you're still doing that to this day, right?
Yes,
You're still,
yeah.
So you're eating properly now. We use the lipotropics, which are the HCG, the L-carnitine, and L-methionine, which are all naturally occurring. There's nothing synthetic there. And the last thing we do is that we use the appetite suppressants. Mm-hmm. And there's 2 different appetite suppressants we use. We either use prescription strength Garcinia, Cambogia, or Adipex. I think you said you used the Adipex, right?
Phentermine?
Or Phentermine. Yep,
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
Phentermine, Adipex, the
Okay.
same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Which has been safely used since the 1970s. It's very inexpensive, and a lot of people are, when you say phentermine, like, oh, that's that stuff that causes heart disease or all that stuff. Unfortunately, what happened with phentermine is amazing. I mean, how is phentermine? Does it work great?
Yeah,
It
great.
wipes your appetite out.
Yeah.
Very safe medication, no side effects whatsoever. But what happens when the patent ran out on phentermine, they couldn't make any money, so the drug companies came up with this thing called fen-phen.
Right.
So basically, they took phentermine and they added another molecule to it so they could repatent it, and then everyone started having this mitral valve prolapse and all these heart problems. So then all of a sudden, they pulled phentermine off the market, fen-phen off the market, because they didn't know which one was causing the problems. And when they did the research on it, they said it was the other ingredient they added so they could repatent it to make money.
Right.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So phentermine's back on the market. It's very safe, highly effective, very inexpensive. I mean, it's the best weight appetite suppressants out there. But once again, you can't just do appetite suppressant. Some people will come in and say, can I just get that appetite suppressant? If I just didn't eat, I would be happy and I could lose weight. If you don't eat and you don't have the lipotropics and you don't learn how to eat properly, number one, you're going to burn up all your muscle, and number two, you'll end up putting more body weight on. So we won't even just prescribe phentermine because it'd be, I mean, you would lose weight short term, but you'd put more weight back on, and that's not the proper way to do it.
It'd be detrimental.
You know, and I know some people will, you know, they'll go to these. There's some clinics around town that'll just prescribe, you know, phentermine, and there's Belviq. There's these other medications that are out there, just appetite suppressants. If you're just taking an appetite suppressant, you may lose weight short term, but you always put more weight back on, always, every single time.
Yeah.
So it's just not the proper way to do it. So, do you have any advice for anyone? You know, people listen to the show. A lot of times it takes them forever to come in. They listen, but then they just don't take the step. What advice you have for someone if they're listening to the show?
Oh, just go in and talk to Travis. Talk to you know, meet one of the coaches. They really are there for you, and you know, it's awesome as you're going through the program. You know, I would come through and every time I would see Travis, you know, just this big smile on his face, and it's so encouraging and welcoming, and they just really made me feel like they were proud of me as well as me being proud of me, and they're very much supportive, very on your side, and you know, you don't have anything to lose but a whole lot of weight. And
awesome. You did awesome too.
Yeah, it was fun. The whole journey was fun. I came out of it not just with the physical benefits, but also just emotional and mental benefits of knowing that this was a tough program, at least on paper, but I did it, and you know, just made me realize how much I can do when I set my mind to it.
That's awesome. Well, we're real proud of you too. I mean,
well, thank you.
Really, thank you for sharing your story on the radio
no
here.
problem.
Because a lot of people, so many people have failed with diets so many times. I mean, people think they just can't lose weight, and anyone can lose weight.
Absolutely.
You know, just unfortunately, there's a lot of garbage on the market out there, and there's a lot of money to be had. You know, and people do dieting the wrong way, and when they fail, they think they just can't lose weight. Anyone can lose weight.
Right.
Anybody can lose weight,
Right.
and it's never too late, and you're never too busy.
Right.
You know, so once again, thank you so much.
Hey, no problem.
This is Dr. Buzz with Buckeye Physical Medicine and Rehab. That's BuckeyePMR.com is the website. And until next time, you're awesome.
Hey, thank you.